And welcome everybody to another issue. Oh my God. Sorry, I got other stuff on apparently because I didn't mute it. Anyways, welcome everybody to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is a live streaming video podcast by Star Wars fans for Star Wars fans, and we're going to continue our episodic review of Star Wars The Bad Batch, Season 3, with Episode 4 through 6.
Yeah, this is weird because they dropped 6 and 7 at the same time.
I was very confused about that.
So we're going to have to not talk about the conclusion to the setup, but that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it works because I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay, perfect then.
Yeah, I wanted it to be fresh in my mind, so I'm like, if I watch it right now, I'm gonna forget.
Right. Well, what were your initial thoughts of this next three?
So I mean, the first one, it's just a lot of like, what the fuck? Like, I'm pretty sure terminal velocity into a planet without harnesses, they're not just gonna get up like, whoa, that was a rough landing. But who am I?
Have you ever flown in a spaceship? I mean, how
yeah, man. I mean, it's just
stuff. You don't know. Yeah, no. I always think about. I always reflect back on the old role playing game of Star Wars where you like had to specify that you had crash webbing on, or else you just like flew into the windshield. Like, of course you're gonna crash horribly. The whole idea of like Episode 3 where Anakin like pilots down that half of the starship safely. I was always just like, I feel like crashing into a planet would make you move more than like the Star Trek woo. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, they
but what do we know?
Windshields, broken lip, totally bones all just shattered in their bodies. But all right, Star Wars.
And it's just, it felt like Episode 4 should have been a finale episode. Like, especially towards the end. Like, did you get that feeling at all? Because it straight up felt like, everybody's getting back together and it's so heavy and it's so, there's the somber music. It just felt like, oh, cool, this is how they're going to end the Bad Batch. Oh, wait, no, we still have a season left.
Yeah, that nice, like, sort of over the back of the shoulder of the two, and you just see Crosshair stepping out like it's Close Encounters of the Third Kind or something. It is very much like the end.
Right.
And they all bought a wrench together.
Something. Right.
No, I think of the three, that was my least favorite. I felt like we were retreading old ground a lot, like the whole gambling thing, going back. Like, I get you're a clone and I don't know what you are, but like, I just don't think you can be the best at everything.
Dude, they don't even know what the fuck she is. Like, there has been zero game plan throughout this entire show. And if they say otherwise, they're full of shit. It's just like the trilogy all over again. There was no game plan. They just thought they could wing it because it's Star Wars. And, well, they can't. It sucks.
It's weird because this is like the end. This is it, right? Like, this is the swan song of the entire Clone Wars saga.
Allegedly.
Right. I mean, if we don't retread old ground. But, like, that's sort of the premise that I'm getting from just the way they're, this is the last season and that's it. So if that's the case, and this is how you're closing out everything, I get how they're rounding around to the clone story, and they're sort of like tightening that up to lead into where we see them then in Rebels. But like Omega, she wasn't anything else. So how are you going to close that fucking loophole?
Right. Especially with what was the last episode or the episode before where they introduced the clone doctor lady. Yeah. It's like really, there's nothing special about her anymore.
I mean, number 2.
Yeah, like, cool. She's the end, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Just it definitely interested to see where this shit goes.
Yeah. That being said, where the first one felt a little flat, they sort of crash landed. They had to find money to repair the ship with. They ended up getting in trouble with the local law, who, surprise, surprise, was corrupt.
Yeah.
And like, who would have saw that coming? And then they just steal his ship to get off planet.
And is it just me, or do they not know how to do fat people in this show? It's like every fat person in this fucking show, whether it's humanoid, alien, whatever, it's like a fucking regular person wearing a fat suit. It's so bizarre. They've literally had decades to figure this shit out. And yeah, that fucking imp, he was straight up a guy in a fat suit. Like, it was bad. It was like fucking oh god, the fucking Eddie Murphy one where he was everybody.
Oh, gosh.
Clumps or whatever. I don't know. It's just
I think he had a bunch of them, but yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I've never thought of that ever. And now I'm not going to not be
No,
able to think
yeah,
about it.
you're welcome. I just ruined it for you.
Oh, I don't think you were the one that ruined it.
No, that
I think
was
it did it itself.
that was definitely the straw that broke the camel's back.
How silly. Wow. Yeah, I thought the whole episode was just ridiculous. And I get what it's like a padding episode, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it's just like there's so many things about it that are so goddamn stupid. Like, let's see. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes right now. So Dr. Doucher, I forget his name, but totally not Sam Witwer. Did you see who it was? Yeah, so they finally had announced like softly who it was, and now that I know who it is, that's all I can hear, and all I can think is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's hilarious. But yeah, so I mean, whatever, that doesn't matter. But so let's see. The TK's wearing goggles on their buckets. The fuck is up with that? Omega trying to get tickets like you trying to buy mushrooms in Colorado. Like, it's just, what the fuck
First
is
of
up with
all,
that?
I almost had it, all right?
You were really fucking close. I will give you that. That kid was gonna budget.
He was like, "Are you an undercover cop, or are you an undercover cop?"
Yeah, it's just, yeah, and like, let's see. The biggest takeaway I have from this was it's such a shame that this show is so fucking stupid, because the scenery is beautiful. Like the sets they build, like when it's open, it's outdoors. Like when they were in that like on that mountainy area, like that's fucking beautiful. That's like, oh my god, this is why I played the video games. And then they start talking.
Yeah. Oh, this show would be great if it wasn't for the characters.
I know, right? Let's just get grumpy ass Crosshair. That's all we need.
Yeah. I do have to say, and I don't know if it was just the last two episodes or the last episode, the music really stood out. I started like going,
yeah, man.
God damn, those Star Wars themes are great. And I don't know if that's a testament to the music because it's great, or if it's because what I'm watching is so uninteresting that I have to then like fall back to the music that is great.
So while I can understand both sides, I will have to go with the former. Like the music is solid. And that was another one of my notes from these, is just like, no matter how bad this shit gets, the music's fucking great. And it's funny because that is, at this point, that's the only thing when there's intense scenes, like with the final episode of this review, that with infiltration or infiltration. I can talk.
Infiltration.
Yes, there we go. That's what we'll call it. Infiltration. Like the music, it was so intense when everything's going on, but it's such a boring fucking thing that it's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is just the music that's getting me, not what's going on.
Yeah. So the first episode 4 sort of ended where we're like, oh, well, they're gonna have to reconcile, and how are they gonna do that? Are they gonna play it up all grand and dramatic, draw it out for episodes at a time, or are they gonna have like one episode where they just like arm wrestle and then they're good?
I would have loved that.
Just finish it on a quick.
Yeah, why not?
And I was just like, they're gonna drag this out, and I get it. But this is only one season, and I don't think that story is the most important part of this whole thing that they're trying to set up / pay off.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, just fucking move on, move past it, and we just couldn't do it. I'm asking way too much, and they just could not give it.
That is going to go up until, if not the finale, the penultimate episode.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fucking frustrating because literally all of this is just to pay off that, yes, the Emperor was able to create clones.
Yeah.
And
which we already know.
Yeah.
Which is the worst part about it.
Yeah.
It's so crazy because it does very much seem like they're trying to, like, we have to explain fucking the sequel trilogy, so let's just use every resource we have on every TV show to do that one thing. And so everything is going down the clone route, everything just to explain away the atrocity that they gave us in the best possible light. But we have already seen it on Mandalorian. We are now watching it yet again, and we already know it, and we've known it for like a decade. So Or if you read the books, then even longer than
No,
that.
it way longer.
It
We've
was like
known this
40
shit
years
for
ago.
40
You knew this.
goddamn years.
So
Yeah.
it's like, they doth protest too much. Like, just stop
Yeah.
already, for fuck's sake. We get it.
Right?
Yeah,
Just
it
give
drives
us a
me nuts.
story.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to build up anything. That is honestly all we want at this point, is a fucking standalone story that has nothing to do with anything else, because this is such a big universe, and especially with the introduction of the High Republic and supposedly bringing out the Old Republic. Like, this is tens of thousands of years they can play around with, and we're focusing on a period of 3 fucking years over 2 decades. Sorry, we're over 2 decades at this point. Sorry, let me correct that. We are over 2 decades at this point.
Wow.
This story arc can go buy me beer, and it should, because these episodes
it owes us at this
are bad.
point.
Yeah.
we stuck in so long. Okay, so the next one was The Return, where we get the majority of like you betrayed us. Yeah, I know I did, but I had to. I was doing what a soldier does. Yeah, but you're a bitch. Yeah, I am a bitch. But it was just like this weird.
You betrayed the. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, that's the last one. Just kidding. I kind of watched them all together multiple times, so it gets confused. But yeah, God,
it drives me nuts. So the background story is the clones want to save the other clones that were being tortured in the facility. They need to find out how to get there. Omega has Omega V1's laptop, and so, or iPad or whatever it is. And so they figure, if we can get to a station, then we can plug into the station, because the Empire apparently never turns off anything ever. Like, they never take any like network adapters for their HoloNet. They're just like, as long as we have one installation, like, we're just gonna leave it there forever. And it's like, no wonder you lost, you assholes. You suck at war.
Yeah, right.
Don't leave
Everybody
shit
knows when you leave, you at least take the copper wires to fucking.
yeah, I mean, you can sell them for one.
Exactly.
Make a buck.
Just
but so I just love that. Okay, well, we're gonna go back to the point where Crosshair actually gets in trouble, and this episode and the next one, I actually really enjoyed for what they were doing. Like, I love a good monster story. This one was the most absurd thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's this perimeter power, like, that's being used. It must be like nothing, but it's the Energizer Bunny, and so it's like draining slowly the main plant's battery. And then they have to go there, turn off the shield in order to plug in their fucking adapter to get into the network. Like, what does that have to do with connecting to the net? Like, if there's any power, you can just plug in and go. I don't understand.
Well, see, that's where you're wrong, Adam. The power was so depleted that it could easily power a 24/7 perimeter of a high-pitched noise that sends away giant ice worms.
Yeah. It's too much.
But you can't do. It's like, plugging in your hairdryer and your toaster at the same time. You're gonna blow a fuse.
Right.
You can't do it, and they could not do it in this one.
It was brutal, but it was the place where Crosshair first got his sort of turning against the Empire vibe and killed his own commander.
Oh yeah, no, and I was totally wrong, because this is the episode where the thing happens that they said. It's like, oh, you betrayed us. Yeah. I was doing what I was supposed to do. Well, then you betrayed the Empire. Yeah. So did you. Is that bad now? It's like, God, you guys are fucking idiots.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I
will say, I do like having the other clones interacting with them. Like, it takes the focus off of Wrecker, which is great, because I fucking hate Wrecker. It takes a little bit of the focus off Omega, which of course Omega sucks. So it's kind of nice having Cody and all those people.
Yeah. I mean, this wasn't that. That's the last one, Infiltration.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was okay. Yep. Nope. I'm confused.
So this is the Ice Planet one.
Yep. This is the Ice Planet.
The big monster that's being kept away.
Oh yeah, it's Cody with the fucking cloak. Okay.
Mystery.
Yeah. We don't know this yet.
It hasn't been revealed. He hasn't taken his hat off.
Yeah.
No, I like this one because it was Crosshair proving himself against, like, he was doing anything he could to help out Rambo. Hunter. And, like,
no, Rambo.
Yeah,
it's fine.
he's
Rambo.
first blood, 100%.
I mean, that's literally what they ripped off for.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just tattoo a half a skull on his face that looks like a really bad birthmark, and no one will know it's Rambo.
It's like the most patchy ass tattoo ever, too. I was
Yeah.
like, God damn, man,
Like, a
I
lot
could
of
do
those
better than that.
clothes. Yeah, fuck you. Proof. Right fucking there, folks. Right there.
Proof. No, I like the concept of it, and I always like a good monster.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it could have been Toxic Avenger. I still would have watched and been happy. So,
Fuck yeah.
you know, I don't just give me a good
I would have
monster.
been way happier with some Toxie.
Fucking mops and everything.
Hell yeah.
I don't understand like I mean, they set the rule up of the perimeter thing to stop it. But if it's like in full heat charge mode and you flick on the air wick, is that really gonna like just stop him dead in the air? I feel like that monster would just go right through that sound barrier and crush them.
That's the thing. It's like essentially it's a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Like it can't be that debilitating, because if it was that debilitating, it's right at the perimeter when that goes off.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it
It's
like
suffering
destroy it? Like you
already.
see some blood coming out of its ears or its face or some
that'd be
shit.
cool.
Like it's a deterrent.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you mace a bear, it's gonna, like, if it's right there, it's probably still gonna smack your face off. It's gonna be pissed and it's gonna want to walk the fuck away because you just maced it, but it's still gonna murder your ass.
I mean, that tracks for me. It drives me nuts. I don't understand the whole. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I did, like, as much as none of that shit made sense, I did, of course, love the monster, because that's where they always get it right. And then especially having Hunter going through the tunnels and shit and seeing the level of detail they put into it, and the fact that it's not just something that just goes straight, like it fucking spirals. Like, that's cool. A corkscrewing monster. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my sex move.
Yeah.
The corkscrew monster.
Yeah.
Well, you guys figure out how that works.
That way she can feel it. So it touches all the sides.
Yeah, otherwise it's just like see who's being insulted here.
Yeah, we'll leave that to you guys to decide.
All right, so let's move on from that.
Yeah, to the Aladdin crossover.
Mm-hmm.
That opening, it's just Arabian Nights, like Arabian Days. Yeah, that's all I got. And then that fucking senator.
Hilarious.
I fucking hate that senator. And I'm sorry, but you're trying to be low key and you're going to wear that fucking hat with a monocle? No. That is not low key, motherfucker.
Monocles are not low key, man.
Like, at first, my shit talking on this was the clones. Like, oh, you throw a poncho over a clone fully, armored. You're not going to know it's a clone, even though it's big and bulky with a small head. But yeah, man, the more I thought about it, because I watched this episode like 3 different times because I fell asleep halfway through twice. But yeah, the senator, man, it's like, God, just somebody shoot him. Fucking separatist turd.
Well, what I like about it is like they're all separatists now. Like the whole Rebel Alliance, they're the separatists now. Yeah. And I love that it just sort of framed that for me in a really nice way, where this one girl who was always on the Empire side or the the Republic side, and then ultimately, turns separatist / rebel. She's like, look, we're on other sides of the war, but we've got to get along because these clones are gonna be fucked. And the dude's like, well, yes, I guess if we can. So I like that he's framed up. I was a separatist, and now we're on the same side of this. That I just like that idea of sort of. You didn't realize that you were on my side the whole time, and then suddenly now you have to. Face
well,
facts.
that's why this has been my favorite episode so far of the season. This is like traditional Clone Wars.
Yeah,
like just that scene right there. Not necessarily the rest of the episode. I mean, it is and it isn't, but like the politics, like that is the shit that's like. Of course, it's not for kids. It's for us fucking grumpy old men that are like, yeah, Star Wars is mine. But I love that shit because this is post fall of the Republic, the beginning of the Galactic Empire. This is this is when shit's really hitting the fan, and everybody's realizing, oh fuck, Palpatine is fully in charge, and we're just kind of puppets at this point, because this is before the Senate gets disbanded, right? Yeah. So it's just nice to see that dynamic and that realization of the people that were, at least they thought they were in charge for years. And yeah, that I love that part. Like as soon as they actually sat down and started talking, it was short, but again, that reminded me of like old Clone Wars.
Yeah, for sure, this episode, and for me, the next one, and then I did watch the very last one, but it feels like it's going in an upward trajectory, taking us back to the old days when the Clone Wars was actually interesting. It was like Star Wars was originally. It was a moral tale. They did everything, even giving you a little splash screen at the very beginning, like whatever the proverb was or the message of the episode. Like I dig that that's old school 80s cartoon type vibe stuff, and I grew up in that era, and I appreciate that take rather than, and it's all serving one total storyline. It's not like these weird one-off episodes. Like, we were saying that the previous one was, sort of like filler, but it was still on theme. And so this whole season thus far, I'm really looking on kinder than the last.
Definitely.
Because it just feels more connected.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like last season was just trash up until the very end. Even then, it it wasn't great, but seeing Camino get glassed pretty much, that was pretty dope. Cool. This has felt more like Clone Wars than the rest of the series, minus of course the introduction of the Bad Batch, because that was fucking straight up Clone Wars.
Yeah, I don't even know what I expected out of this whole series, but this is not what I thought we were going to be getting at all.
No.
But whatever, we're here. So I didn't necessarily mind. I kind of liked the whole snow situation, and then they sort of connected at the end. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, done. They did it in one episode. Congratulations. But no. Then we get the last episode, Infiltration, which is interesting because they get information about where they need to go. No, they're called in by the other clones, right, for help. Because they
caught one of the shadows.
Yeah, when we got like the first look at like the sort of special killer division, the outcome of where Crosshair and Omega were stationed. Before this, like they're training like super soldiers while they're sort of reflecting. Also, I was thinking like, are they going to do the Dark Trooper thing? But no, they just went a weird super spy type of thing, which I thought was a little bit strange. But I still dug it. Like I like the idea there's like this secret group that one of them just happened to get caught, and they're trying to figure out information. They find out that Omega's on the list, and they call back to the Bad Batch to get him over here to check it out. And then they realize, shit, if this guy's alive and they know who we're with, then they're going to be here and shit's going to hit the fan.
Well, and that's the shit that got me. Like, I understand that there's beef between everybody in Crosshair. Like, that just goes without saying. But his group accepted him back. Like, they brought him his fucking armor, for Christ's sakes. Like, that should say everything. But everybody's so apprehensive to listen to him. And he's like, oh my God, you got one of those guys? Fuck, we're fucked. You need to get rid of him. We're fucked. We got to get the fuck out of here. What do you fucking know? Well, I was there. I know what the hell's going on. They're going to come and get him and then get all of us. How can we trust you? I fucking ran away, asshole. Like, just that's the whole episode. And I understand why that dynamic was there, but it's also so frustrating because it's like the whole time he is doing nothing but trying to save their asses and explain to them what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And it's not until the very end when he tells them, look, this is literally everything that happened, fuckers. And they're still like, no, I don't know.
I'm still not convinced.
Yeah. It's like he's literally doing everything in his power to make up for what you guys see as a fuck up and him seeing as him doing his duty and then being betrayed for doing his duty by everybody in the fucking galaxy.
Yeah. It is rough because like, I don't want to see everyone just roll over from all the history that's involved there, but
of course.
They all went through the same thing. They know they had implants and they had to rip them out and stuff. Like, everyone should understand at this point, if you're a clone, and just be like, okay, like we were fucked over it. Let's just band together and we understand why we did the things we did, but let's move past it. But we got to drag it out a little bit more. Let's just keep going for maybe another 3 episodes. I don't know. Who knows?
Right.
For fuck's sake. I'm just like, just end it already. I did like that immediate connection when you almost got a vibe where the prisoner was gonna make it seem like Crosshair was like like a plant or something.
Yeah.
And he suggested it, but he didn't like dig in. I thought there was gonna be
Which,
like this
well, I
back
mean,
and forth
yeah,
and
that's a smart way to do it. Because if you oversell it, people are just gonna be like, "Oh, this dude's just trying to get the hair, you know,
Right.
the spotlight off of him." Yeah, no, I dug that. It's like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way to do it.
I like that aspect of it. And then of course, like I don't know, what they have to do something with Omega at this point. And I'm just thinking, if she gets nabbed again, if she goes back to that scientist, she's not coming back out.
hmm
Like maybe that's the finale, is them like going in and it's like the big sad, oh, we tried to save her and we were in the last second, we couldn't. But I don't know that they would go to that dark of a
Yeah,
place.
I don't think Disney has the balls to kill a kid.
That'd be dope though. I would totally kill Omega.
Yeah,
In a story for
100%.
sure.
She is
It'd been
so
like
fucking
episode 2, I think. Oh yeah, what do you think of her pistol bow?
Ugh,
Pistol crossbow.
God. Why can't she just have a regular ass weapon
I know.
like everybody else?
Here's
One
your
that's
E11.
easy.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just something that's easy to dismantle, something that the power packs are plentiful and easy to come by. No, it's always got to be something fucking fancy. Now, instead of having a weird ass bow, she has a crossbow. Cool. Fuck you, Echo. I hope somebody takes your other arm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go from here. So
Where I like to keep it. Okay, so one thing, I mean, if we're at the end of this episode,
yeah.
are we okay, we're at the end. Commander Wolf's a bad guy now? Or was he already a bad guy? I don't remember. Like, that kind of blew my mind seeing him at the end, and I couldn't remember if that like was already established or if that was a big reveal and I was supposed to be even more surprised.
I don't know that he's a bad guy. He's just a clone. Like
he's with
he's
the
not enlightened
Empire
yet. You know what I mean? Like there's only a small section of clones who've like become aware or awake or however you want to call it.
That's true.
And he just hasn't yet. And I think what I like is that sort of idea, that back and forth where you're like, wait a second, like these are the characters that we knew were so tight together. If one has evolved to this point, then surely all of them must have.
Yeah.
And I love the complexity of like, no, they're all going to get to it in their own time. You know, we're seeing it in the small dynamic with the Bad Batch specifically with Crosshair, but we're also seeing this larger group of the Empire as a whole, where the clones are just slowly waking up, going like, wait a fucking second, like, what are we actually doing? Like, we don't have a union or a pension, or we're fucked.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of dig that. Hey, Chris, you didn't miss anything but the whole show, but thanks for showing up, man.
There, I had to talk
Appreciate
shit in the chat. Yeah, it was an aspect that I hadn't thought about, and yeah, like the second or third time, third time that I watched it, and I really caught that. It's like, wait, what the fuck? Wasn't he already like one of those people that got away? And then it's like, no, I don't. Well, I mean, obviously he wasn't at this point.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Then,
I can't wait to see where his story goes.
Right. Or if we're even going to see it at all. It'll be like the third show. It'll be like Clone Troopers 911 or something. It's just like...
Yeah, I'd watch it.
One of them's going to wear real short jean shorts. Daisy Dukes. Just like Reno 911.
Fuck
right,
yeah.
Anyway, no, I really liked in the music, especially in this one, I was really cueing into. I was just like, God damn these themes, John Williams, you're a god. Like, fuck, this stuff is so great. I also started thinking, because I listen to a lot of classical music when I like work and write and stuff. I'm like, this is as enduring as a Beethoven's piece.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you pound for pound, it's as good, if not better than some. It's amazing that we still live in an era where we can get like genuine masterpieces, and they're foreshadowed by the visual spectacle, but it like resonates with you later. You know, I mean, it just sticks with you. Music does. It's like food. It just has it seeps its way into your brain, and man, it'll bring you right back in time. It'll take you to specific places. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it's fucking pure magic, and it's crazy to think that of all of human history, like, we lived in the same era as one of arguably the greatest composers of all time.
Yeah.
Like that will be just like Beethoven, just like Mozart, just like any of those people. Like guaranteed he's going to live through the centuries. Assuming
Definitely.
humanity sticks around. I mean, if it doesn't, whatever.
Yeah. We
That's
might be
fine.
the end of this turd.
Look, we had a good run.
Yeah. I couldn't say we did our best, but we
No,
tried.
we absolutely did not do our best at
We
all.
tried.
Some of us tried.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, that's kind of the end. Like, it's this. How are they going to get away? Are they going to have to murder their own friends? Like, how's this gonna work out? And I think that's great. It's the reason why they dropped the two-parter, and that's why we're gonna just sort of put the pin in the story there for this episode. But yeah, I don't know. I like the direction it's going. I hope they veer away from the whole midi-chlorian count thing.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need it. They've already established the M count. Cool. Any asshole that's watched any Star Wars anything understands what that is. Like, that's not a big deal. We get it. And yeah, that's the thing, is it's setting up to where it can go great. Like, there's a solid trajectory to make it stand up with the final seasons of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's not going to.
No.
Let's be honest. But it could be decent. And I just really hope they stick the landing and not keep, because it seems like anytime that they get serious and make it actually start to resonate with fans of the original first, like 2 or 3 seasons, well, season 2 and on of the Clone Wars, like fans of that era, every time they start to veer that way, they have to take it back to like, oh, here's a goofy, fun Omega heavy episode because isn't she cheeky?
Yeah.
I was just like, please stop. You've had 2 other seasons to do that. You gave her the fucking ponytail, so obviously she's grown up. Let's just see where this goes.
Right. Yeah, I really wish they would focus on the clones experience, because that speaks to veterans experience, and it sort of echoes the whole Vietnam veteran phenomenon that was carried through to Desert Storm. And like, I don't know, it's something that should always be spotlighted.
Absolutely.
In an empire. I mean, that's what we are. So I like that aspect of it, but also just the idea, like, they're paying off the story, like, where did all the clones go? We didn't see any in episode 4. So now they're explaining that. Omega wasn't in episode 4. So how are you going to nail this? Like, how are you going to, like, hand wash this away? Does she go off and train with fucking Ahsoka too? Is she in like season 2 of Ahsoka?
Oh my God.
Like,
I would fucking quit.
Surprise.
Like, I would just be done. I would wash my hands of it. I would cancel my Disney Plus subscription and just pretend this never happened.
But they have to do something like that. Like, it may be in like a kid's book later, but
that's fine. You know what? Keep it in the novels. As much as it pains me to say that, the books have gone to shit. I will never read another new Star Wars book ever.
Whoa. Gauntlet thrown.
They're just garbage. None of it's good. And you can't even tell whether you're reading a novel, a fucking YA novel, or something that a cat shit on a piece of paper. Like, it's just so terrible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have some opinions about it.
Clearly. You don't feel, you're not wishy-washy. I agree with you, Chris. I really wanted to see George's weird version of the sequel trilogy as well. I think it would have been fucking weird, but I would have been there for it.
I still stand by, they need to do, like, they won't because they're fucking idiots, but they really need to do what they did with the original draft of Star Wars, like the Star Wars, and just do a graphic novel.
Yeah. Like,
that would be perfect. Fans would eat it up. We would probably like come all over the fucking pages.
That's why you buy 2.
Yeah, well, of course. One to look at, one to shamefully throw away. Yeah, it'd be so great. And it's especially with the fact that they're all about this supposed fan service. Like, tell me that's not fucking fan service.
Yeah.
Like, that's fan service to a T.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that documentary they're making about this holiday special. Have you seen that?
Not yet. I keep meaning to get it and keep. I don't know why I haven't bought it yet. Actually,
Is it out to
it's
buy? I don't even know. I just
yeah.
know I haven't seen
I'm
it yet.
pretty sure. Let me double check.
I mean, we don't have to do it now. I just
Okay, but yeah,
I wasn't sure.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's out already.
See, that's the kind of stuff I want them to do and promote. Like, just I know you want to take this in a new direction. You want to tell new stories, but it's all couched in the same time that we are intimately aware of. So
Oh,
just move
yeah.
beyond or before, or just do something different so that we're not constantly comparing you to what could have been.
Hmm.
Just fucking be creative. Do your own thing, man. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, no, it's out. Came
Oh
out last
shit.
year, apparently.
Oh wow.
And you can buy it physically.
All right.
I think we're gonna have to have a movie night one of these nights.
Hell yeah. 100%.
Yeah, no, I've been meaning to watch that because I follow a couple of the people that were key components of it
Oh,
that
cool.
used to work for like Lucasfilm and all that shit, and I've seen a lot of funny stuff about it, and I've been wanting to watch it.
Nice. All right.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
we'll have to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I'm here
Mhm.
for it right now. I'm hopeful because it's better than the last season, but
Yeah, yeah.
they did give us the last season, so I can't really trust them.
Right. It's like having a cigarette put out on you. You don't want to get too close to that person again because you might think they might do it, but they've got a cheese stick they're trying to hand to you, so it's like fuck.
I do like cheese.
Right? It's a struggle. I think I broke out of people.
That's really funny. Just I'm like living it. I can just see it. It's hilarious. All right. Well, what was your favorite moment of these last 3 episodes? Like anything stand out to you?
So I really did like the end of episode 6, like that battle with the shadow, and then actually seeing the shadow fucking take out the other one that they captured. Like that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it since the beginning of the episode. The music was just phenomenal. It, like I said, that ending was way more intense because of the music. Like if I hadn't been listening to it or had the volume turned down a lot, I probably would have been bored to fucking tears.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal.
Yeah, for me, the music led the way. I was just constantly reminded of that throughout the whole, like all 3 episodes, I think. Certainly the last 2. And then just I like how they're going in this really dark direction with the future of the clones and the reality of what happens in a wartime scenario where you don't need your soldiers anymore, or at least not as many.
Yeah.
I mean, something has to be done. Like you can't just create something out of nothing and then just wish it luck. Shut the door behind it. So I like how they're addressing that aspect of it because I never thought they would ever go there. And it's interesting, potentially really good storytelling. So we'll see if they can actually do it. What was your least favorite?
Oh God, fucking Omega! Just like the crossbow, yay! And then the gambling thing. Okay, I think that's probably the worst out of the 3 episodes. Was the gambling? Like, fuck you. There are so many different versions of Sabacc, and there's like regional versions. That was another regional version of Sabacc, and she just goes in and she's a natural. Fuck you. Like I play Sabacc. I know how to play Sabacc. If I went to a different place and they were doing a different version than I'm used to, I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. I hate Omega.
I just hate how she's like perfect at everything.
Yeah,
like,
it's nonsense.
Have a couple flaws, then it's more believable.
Yeah, and it can't just be like, oh, well, she's got a popcorn debt. No, that's not a flaw. That's a reality that a lot of us experience. Fuck.
We have old credit cards just dedicated. I get 2% back on popcorn on mine.
You ever suck dick for popcorn? Don't answer that because you're a child. I don't care. Don't want to know that.
She's older than the Bad Batch, though. So.
Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah, that was almost my sign out. Little brother. Fuck. God, shut up, dumbass.
So great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my least favorite part of this whole show. I think she's superfluous. We don't need her. Move on.
Not at all.
All right. Hopes for future?
Hopes for the future.
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Just I really want to see this story arc progress. Like we don't need filler episodes. We don't need goofy little, oh, this is fun, she's a kid episodes. At this point, it's moot. Like, this is the final season. Give us seriousness. Give us a proper conclusion. That way, there was a reason for us to sit through three seasons of this.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's all I want. Like, it's such a low bar to jump over. Just stick it.
Yeah. I just want a nice adult-ish conclusion, you know, like something that makes sense. So I'm just not like,
yeah, no, this is like serious matter. Like, this is a real world problem that we deal with to this day, even in this fucking country, especially in this country. Let's see the parallels in this fantasy world with our real world. Like, that's always been one of the strongest points of Star Wars is, you know, holding a mirror to society and saying, yeah, this is fantasy, but come on, you're kind of fucking up, bud.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard. At least it shouldn't be that hard.
I mean, it must be, because they haven't done it very well so far. But hopefully, I got my fingers crossed. I feel like this could be a good one. If not satisfying, at least it's a turd. Like, okay, you know, there's a little pleasure getting it out. Right. Anything else you want to go over?
I think we got it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. You joining us live. Appreciate you, man. Or after the fact, we invite you to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell, get notified about upcoming videos, and click that stupid like button, because that helps, you know, everyone in the world.
It does.
Because there's
help us buy drugs. I mean, promote the channel or something.
We have an addiction. It needs to be fed. Yeah.
This glue ain't gonna buy itself.
We also have memberships and apparel, so check those out in the description below. There's links there. Until the Infernal Brotherhood convenes again, my fellow scruffy looking Nerf Herders, may the Force be with you.
Being defective is in my nature.
That's actually kind of metal.
It was. I wrote it down originally, so I'm like, God, that's stupid. And then I rewatched it, I'm like, God, that's fucking baller.
I feel like if you just had that saying and then had like AC/DC's logo or something next to it, you'd be like, yeah!
Right.